Hey besties, welcome in. I'm Sabrina, for those of you who don't know me yet, and this is Sabrina Reads and Roams, and today we're gonna go ahead and do the mid-year freakout tag. I wasn't gonna do this, but like, it's so much fun, so how could I not, right? Plus, I don't know, I kind of do want to reflect on the first half of the year, so without further ado, I'm going to have Mr. Sabrina Reads and Roams read me the questions, and I'm going to answer them. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, me too.
What's the best book you've read so far?
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, we're starting off like on a high note. The best book that I've read so far this year. I have 3. Project Hail Mary. I listened to that on audiobook. It was phenomenal. Like, I could not get that book out of my head. And then another one that I listened to on audio, however, I happen to have it right here on the shelf. Empire. The book was backwards. Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocchio. I love this so much that I kept the physical one on my TBR shelf because I want to read it, even though I've already listened to the whole thing. So that was my second. Well, the 3 are not in order, but that was number 2 of the 3 favorite books that I have read so far this year. And then the third one was A Song to Drown Rivers, which I just recently finished on my Kindle. You probably saw me talk about it in my June wrap up. I was so caught off guard by the way that book ended, and it just stuck with me, and it was just such a beautiful story. So like, oh yes. Okay, those are my 3 like favorites so far this year.
So this isn't about your best book anymore. It's the best sequel that you read so far.
A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This is technically the 3rd book in the series, so I mean, I guess that still counts as a sequel, but y'all, this was so freaking good, and like, this is one of my top fantasy series at this point in time. So, V.E. Schwab, y'all know how I feel about her. This was a beast, but I loved every minute of it. I also really, really, really loved the Halfling Saga by Melissa Blair, and so this one is book 2, but I'll just say that books 3 and 4 were equally as good. So book 2 is A Shadow Crown, and so these were my top 2 sequels so far this year.
So enough about books that you've read. Tell me about a book you haven't read yet, but you really want to.
Okay, so Taylor Jenkins Reid, Atmosphere. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. I am like super excited to read that. Although I will say I have not picked it up yet. And another one that I'm really excited to read that I have just not gotten around to yet is We Do Not Part. Like, everything that I have read about this book and all the reviews and everything is just like, oh, it's speaking to me. And somehow I haven't gotten to it yet. I don't know what's wrong with me, but that's where we are.
What's a future release coming in the second half of the year that you're also anticipated to read?
Hands down, Catabasis. R.F. Kuang. I mean, what more do I need to say? And to the point that I'm planning on importing mine from the UK because their cover looks way better than ours does. So as soon as that gets here, she's gonna be on the TBR, like, stat.
Less positive question now. What's been your biggest disappointment for the year?
Ooh, I can think of 2 off the top of my head. So The Office of Historical Corrections. It just, I don't know, to me, it was giving like TVA badass, and like, we're going around correcting historical inaccuracies, but it was more like parking meter maids with like tickets that nobody cares about. I don't know. It was not what I thought it was going to be, based off of the synopsis. And then the other one was called Weird Black Girls. As a book that I picked up at the library, it looked really good. The synopsis sounded really good. When I read it, it wasn't really about black girls. There was like one black girl in like all of the stories that were in there, and she wasn't even weird. So like, I don't know. I don't know if it just completely flew over my head or it wasn't what it said it was going to be, but either way, it just didn't hit for me. So, yeah, sorry.
Any other books that you DNF'd this year?
I DNF'd like 3 books this year. One was about vegetables. I mean, I do have a nutrition background, so to me, I thought, oh, this book about weird vegetables is going to be interesting. And it did have some interesting elements to it, but in the end, I just was like, I don't care. So, so I DNF'd that one and sent that right back to the library. And then I DNF'd a book that I got from Kindle Unlimited. It was so hyped up, but the book was completely unedited and I just could not do it anymore. And not only unedited, but like it was a little nonsensical. Like there were a lot of things that didn't really make sense. And I'm like, how did that happen? Like that's not, how did we get from here to there? You know what I mean? Like it was not put together. I can't even remember what that one was called. I'll put it on the screen. But and then the third book that I DNF'd was the sequel to Waiting to Exhale. It's not that there was anything terribly wrong with the book. It just didn't age well. So that was written, in the 90s? It's 2025. Ooh, it didn't age well. I'll just leave it at that. So I could not read any more of that. I had to DNF.
What were your biggest surprises?
Oh, okay. This one I think everyone will appreciate because I was completely certain that I was not gonna like it or that it was gonna be meh, and I ended up loving it. Fourth Wing. I mean, what? Earlier in the year, I read a different Rebecca Yarros book. It was a non-fantasy book, of course, and and so it kind of gave me bad vibes about Fourth Wing, but I loved Fourth Wing. I just finished it recently, and I'm like, okay, go off, sis. So Fourth Wing was a pleasant surprise. And then also, I picked this up on my birthday trip. It's called The River Has Roots. This was surprising in 2 different ways. One, I had no idea it was this short. I don't know what or how. It was on my TBR, but for some reason, I missed that this was a teeny tiny book. And 2, it was surprising in that I freaking loved it. Like, I thought I was gonna like it, but I loved it. The language was so poetic and flowery, and it just had like such good imagery, and everything about this was amazing, to the point where I don't really reread books, but I'm actually planning on rereading this one. So, I mean, it helps that she's a shorty, but still, I plan on rereading it because I feel like I didn't actually get everything out of it on the first go. Like, I feel like a reread will have it meaning more in different ways, and that's only a good thing. So, yeah, The River Has Roots.
I don't know. That looks like an average size book to me. Like, like it's thick and girthy and well established. In fact, some people think that's a good size book. Like, that would be satisfying for the average person.
Are you done? Or are you finished?
Tell me about your favorite new author.
Alex E. Harrow. Starling House, I'm holding that one because that was the first of hers that I read and loved it. I've read 2 others by her so far since then, and I want to read everything she writes. In fact, she has something coming out later this year, and I'm like, sign me up. I will be purchasing that as soon as it comes out, and I will be reading it because your girl has she has an interesting brain. So I'm into it. Alex E. Harrow. I also think that I should mention R.F. Kuang because I've only read Babel, but the moment I put Babel down, I was like, give me a copy of Catapsis right now. And I mean, I've also since purchased Poppy Wars, and what's the one that comes right after Poppy Wars? Not Burning God. Burning God is the 3rd one. The Dragon Republic. And I mean, I'm so confident in it. I got the collector's edition. The Dragon Republic and Poppy Wars in collector's edition, and I'm waiting for Burning God to come out in collector's edition because your girl knows what she's doing when she's writing, okay?
Who's your newest fictional crush?
I don't think I really have a fictional crush, like a new one right now. Like, nobody's really taken over from Cassian still to this day. But you guys are gonna think I'm being funny, but really I'm not, okay? So hear me out. Hadrian. I don't know. He's such a like complex character, and part of me is like, oh, Adrian. The other part of me is like, I mean, wouldn't it be badass to like be his queen? I mean, I know he's not a king, but you know what I mean, like to just like be on his. He's also a little bit awkward, which is giving husband vibes. So yeah, like. I don't have a real crush on Hadrian, but like if I have to pick somebody, it would be Hadrian.
What about your newest favorite character?
There's a lot of people I could pick for that. But you know what? You know who I am gonna mention? Hendrix Berry. Kennedy Ryan's Can't Get Enough, because this is book 3 in the Skyland series, and I love book 1 and I love book 2, but I have been waiting since the moment I finished book 1 to hear Hendrix's story, because I am she is me, rich auntie vibes, like childless, like listen, I am Hendrix, so she's like my new favorite character, and this book was everything. I mean, it was everything that it needed to be. It's one of my favorite books. I don't know, did I list this earlier? I don't know, but it's one of my favorite books. So also, I would like to give a shout out to my girl Rin Monroe from the Scott Rankin book. I don't have the first one because I read it on Kindle, but I have the second one, the follow-up, A Whisper in the Walls. A Door in the Dark is the first one. So Rin Monroe, the female main character from this series, she's a little bit of a Billy Badass, and I like her. I like that she is not a good girl. Like, she's not like a goody two-shoes. I like that she is willing to take risks for her own personal gain, which is like usually like the villain story, but I don't know, she's not really the villain. I don't know. I just like her. I think she's a very humanized character. So, Rin Monroe, Hendrix Berry, those are my girls.
Now, I gotta ask you, why Hendrix Berry and Rin Monroe, but not Hadrian, whom you got a crush on? Why is he not your favorite character?
Because he's like my crush. Like, that's different. Because, like, my favorite characters are, like, powerful, like, badass women.
So you're sexist.
I'm a feminist.
Just clarifying. A book that made you cry.
All of them. I have turned into an absolute crybaby. So the one that immediately comes to mind is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I bawled like a baby. I was not expecting to cry to that book, and I did at the very, very end. The same thing goes for Daisy Jones and the Six, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Like, listen, oh my God, girl. I don't know. I feel like I've been crying out a lot of books. I got a little teary-eyed at the unmaking of June Farrow, too. I didn't full-on cry, but I got tears in my eye. So, yeah, I guess I'm a book crybaby. Who knew that was the case? Oh, and Project Hail Mary. Listen, the end of that book, oh God, Project Hail Mary. And this is why it's one of my favorite books, because the way that I cried at this book was just, yeah, that was a good book. So, yeah, I'm a book crybaby. I don't know what to tell you.
What about the other extreme? Books that made you really happy.
Can't Get Enough. Been anxiously anticipating this book. It was everything that I needed it to be. It made me extremely happy. I love the way Kennedy Ryan writes. Y'all know that. Y'all know about me and Kennedy Ryan, so don't act brand new, okay? Just because Kennedy Ryan doesn't know about me and her doesn't mean that you don't know about me and her. And in the same vein, Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen was so good. Listen, the first chapter of this book started off a little bit crazy, but we got into the book and she was giving. So, yeah, I mean, Curvy Girl Summer, Can't Get Enough. These two queens together, amazing.
What would you say is the most beautiful book added to your collection this year?
I have a couple of contenders for this. The River Has Roots. This cover, it is stunning. Okay, this is beautiful. I would like to frame that. I also read an ARC, which I don't physically own it, but I want to give a shout out to the cover artwork for Tenderly I Am Devoured, because that is another one that I would absolutely frame, but I don't actually own it yet in like physical media. I don't know that I've seen it out in bookstores yet. It is out, but I haven't seen it. Starling House. This cover, it's beautiful. I'm annoyed that it has a sticker on it, but otherwise, this is a beautiful cover. I have two others that are just, to me, so stunning for absolutely different reasons. So the first one, apparently we're having fireworks on the 5th of July. Trying to film a video. So the first one is the Amalfi Curse. Stunner. Absolute stunner. Like, this is a banger. Like, I don't even care what the words are on the inside. Look at the cover of this freaking book. And this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, just so you know, like, which version I'm looking at. Sarah Penner is quickly becoming one of my favorite authors as well. So it's also great that she has beautiful looking books. The Lost Apothecary cover is also really, really, really pretty. And then the last one I want to give a shout out to is Piper CJ's The Gloom Between Stars. This is such a simple cover, but it's giving elegance. It's giving the Met. Like, I don't know. This one of the whole series, this one in particular is the one that drew me in. Like, the cover to this one drew me into the whole series. Like, y'all know I judge a book by its cover. If the cover is giving, I will stop and look, and then I will read the synopsis. I read the synopsis and I'm like, sure, sign me up, and then I buy. So that's how I work. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I see it, I like it, I want it, I buy it. Is that how that song goes? But yeah, so this one, because it's very simple, it's like, yes. The other covers in this series are just as beautiful, but that one is the most beautiful, I would say.
How many books have you actually read towards your goal? And what was your goal?
So my goal this year was 50, and I'll just say, like, I'm not a huge, like, oh, I have to have a big reading goals kind of person. Like, I set a goal so that I had a goal, so that I was chasing something to get the dopamine hit. So I set my goal at 50, and I am, as of today, it is July 5th, I am at 62 books read. So I'm gonna probably, I'd say that I'm probably gonna come in around like 100, 120 books for this year, somewhere in there.
What books are still left that you need to read by the end of the year?
Everything behind me and above and below that you also can't see in this shot. But I'm not going to read all of them this year. That's okay. But the ones that I think I'm probably most anticipating reading that I think I already own, or that are already out. There are two that I can think of that are already out that I just really, really want to make sure that I read this year. The first one is The Incandescent by Emily Tesh. I don't own it yet, but I would love, 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 love to read that very soon. And then the second one I do own, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. So this book, gorgeous cover, sprayed edges, but the synopsis was also giving. So, like, I really want to make sure that I read this one by the end of the year. I have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Listen, I know corporate bad, whatever, but their special editions are giving, honey. Like, that's the thing. And I just, that's the version that I got because it's gorgeous. So those are like two books that absolutely need to be read this year before we turn it over to 2026. So that's all I have for today's tag. That was fun. I'm glad I did that. And if you made it this far in the video, thanks for hanging out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment. All of those super fun things that we do on YouTube, don't forget to do them. But anyway, yes, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next video.